kiddos, welcome back to my channel. Oh my god, it's been so long. It's been a week. I have my glasses on and my fancy shirt to let you know that I'm fancy and I'm smart. And today I'm going to be pretending to be your love doctor. I don't have good advice. If you've heard any of my songs, you know that I'm always heartbroken. Love that for me, but I'm gonna give you guys my mediocre advice right now. Let's get into it. Okay, these are all anonymous, by the way. I thought I liked this guy and he's a real good guy, but I think he only flirts with me because he likes the attention. And I thought he was different from the others, but then again, I don't know. There could be something there, but I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't really know what the question is here, but keep writing it out. If you're questioning it, either don't talk to anybody or talk to somebody else. Be my doctor. Okay, make sure you're boosting your immunity. She's always telling me she loves me, but her actions don't match. What should I do? I think that it's really important to set your boundaries when you're in relationships or when you're entering relationships or flings or whatever. I think it's really important to have open communication. This is what I'm okay with, this is what I'm not okay with. This made me feel this way. And I would really like to feel closer to you, or I would like, well, you know, XYZ. How to get over a guy that was never your boyfriend but pretty damn close to being it. Am I allowed to say new dick? I'm in an age where, I mean, Drake said it best. Each other with somebody else, so cry if you need to. I have a stuffy nose, this isn't going well. My best advice for getting over somebody, honestly, is to just ride it out. And I know that some people say, over somebody, get under somebody new. You can do that too, if that works for you. I also think you can sit in it and like let yourself feel it too. I think whatever feels right to you is what you should go for. In the past, I've gotten over somebody by just sitting in it and letting myself feel all the emotions, journaling about it, meditating on it, praying on it, whatever I needed to do to process how I felt about the situation and eventually let it go. But then there's also been times where I've dated somebody directly after and it was, you know, I think it all depends on you and how you're feeling about it and what level of healing you're at. Do I believe in right person, wrong time? Is it wrong to feel that way? I don't think it's wrong to feel anyway. I think feelings are valid because they exist in you. In my personal opinion, when it comes to anything working out in life, whether that's career-wise or relationship-wise, I always feel like what's meant to happen will happen. So if you feel like that's the person you really want to be with and you know it, but it's not going to work right now, I would be like, okay, well, it could happen in the future. I think a lot of times we want everything to happen right here, right now, because we live in such an age of instant gratification. Maybe you guys don't talk right now, but maybe if you guys talk in a few years, I think that's a really beautiful thing, and I think that makes your story with each other even more special. Maybe I'm just corny, but ran out of storage, so I'm back. I love my best friend. She has 3 kids from 2 baby daddies. All I care about is her and her kids. She doesn't. That sounds like a conversation for some tough love. I think that there's probably a very healthy way to word that and be like, hey, I feel like your priorities aren't in check. You're my best friend. I love you. Let's snap out of it. Let's get our shit together, you know? How do you find courage to have difficult but necessary conversations with your man? When you come from a loving place and are just vulnerable with somebody and you let them know how something makes you feel or how you interpreted something or something that you want to be different, it's always gonna work out well. And if they're just not receptive to listening, then maybe they're not doing what they should be doing and they're not giving you what they need to in that relationship. I'm like getting kind of serious with this, guys. Okay. Why do I always go after fuckboys and hope they change? How to avoid doing that in the future? You probably like a challenge. It doesn't help that there's a ton of movies out there that show a bad boy or a guy that doesn't want commitment or doesn't want this or whatever suddenly changing his mind when he sees a girl. My biggest thing that I stand by is you can't change somebody unless they want to change something about themselves on their own, and also that people don't change. If somebody is acting like they don't give a fuck about you, they probably don't give a fuck about you. I've learned to just believe people the first time they treat me a certain way. How to avoid it in the future? I guess just kind of change your mindset on it. Don't get too emotionally attached until they've proven that they're actually worthy of that type of involvement from you. Damn, I feel like I'm actually giving kind of good advice. Let me grab my coconut water. Someone said my love life is good. Any advice? What do you want advice on? I don't even know what that means. This one's saucy. Should I give my relationship a second shot? We both failed each other this past year. Context. We both had a mentally difficult year and did not know how to handle it. Now we're better. I love him but I feel like something is different now. Why is it different? I think I need more information on what is changed. I also think like if you're the only one wanting to give that second chance, then you probably shouldn't. I'm gonna speak to the ladies real quick. I feel like naturally as women we're very nurturing and loving, and like we see something and we want to fix it and we want to cater to it. We get wifeyed up real easy. I'm starting to learn that giving away some of that wifey energy, that catering, that loving, that nurturing energy isn't for everybody. We'll have to kind of prove that they're worthy of that before I give it to them. So when it comes to your relationship, I need more information, but I would just say if he is kind of disconnected, then I wouldn't put all of your eggs in that basket. I'd never go out to somebody I like. I could die rather than saying I like you. Might die alone, lol. Baby, you gotta get your confidence up. You are a badass motherfucker and you gotta believe it, and you gotta know that whoever walks into your life is lucky to walk into your life and is lucky to share some of that precious, loving energy that you have. But maybe you don't have to say it first. What do you do when you feel like you'll never really trust someone again? Asking for a friend. Trust is a really big deal. If I feel like I can't trust you, then I can't really have a close, vulnerable relationship with you. If you're a friend, you've kind of become one of those arm's length friends for me, where I love you and I want to hear what's going on in your life and I want to catch up with you, but I won't trust you the same way that I did in the past. You know what I mean? But I won't trust you the same way I did in the past. And sometimes I think that's healthy. I don't think everybody that comes into your life is meant to be super close to you and is meant to have all of your vulnerable parts shared with them.
I also just want to add in, because I'm not sure if I misread the question, if you're talking about personal trust issues, not being able to trust anybody, then I think that that's something you need to think about and like find the root of why that happened, find out what those deep-rooted traumas are, and then start working through them. Start noticing how it affects you in like all aspects of your life. I don't know, I'm not a doctor, this is just my opinion. I don't know.
I'm scared of committing to a relationship, but also scared of being alone. I don't know what to do. That just sounds like maturity. I'm not calling you immature in all aspects, but maybe you're just a little bit emotionally immature and you kind of need to figure out who you are and what you want before involving somebody else. How do you handle jealousy? What are reasonable boundaries? Boundaries are different for every person and in every relationship. Like, I would have to hear like specifically what your situation is and like what boundaries you're kind of referring to be like, oh, I would do that or I wouldn't do that, but it's none of my business. That's your relationship. How do I handle jealousy? The more I've grown, the less I feel that way. The more I feel like if somebody wants to be with me, then I shouldn't have to worry about what they're doing. Our relationship should be strong enough to where I'm not threatened by anybody else coming into the picture, no matter how beautiful or funny or charming or whoever this person is. My relationship should be strongest with. When it comes to jealousy, it all comes down to open communication with your partner. I think it depends on your partner's actions too. If they're doing something that is really not okay with you, then I think you should say something and you should have that conversation. That made me really uncomfortable. When I saw you at the club grinding up on that girl's booty, that made me feel really shitty, and I don't like that, and that's a boundary for me, and I'm not okay with that. But also acknowledging if you have baggage from the past. Say your partner didn't do something outwardly disrespectful and you're just jealous because a hot girl is talking to him or whatever, right? If your partner isn't doing anything wrong, then that's like a confidence thing, I think. I think that's something you kind of have to deal with it yourself, and maybe it comes from past relationships, but you have to be aware of like, okay, I have this issue. It really doesn't have anything to do with my partner. It's not their fault. This is some baggage that I'm holding on to and that I need to work on and heal from within myself. Again, I think it kind of depends on the situation, but I think it's always really important to be self-aware, to recognize your feelings and be like, okay, what is this stemming from? Is this because of their actions? Is this because of my past traumas? Like, what is the reasoning behind this? And then I also think open communication is the best thing that you can have with any relationship, and that's the only way to really have a super healthy, happy relationship. That was it. I think this was... Can you get out of my armpit? You're so disrespectful. In the past 6 months, I've been really focusing on healing myself, healing from past relationships, childhood traumas, everything under the sun. I've been trying to just grow and be as self-aware and emotionally mature as I possibly can be during this time. That's been a big positive for me out of quarantine. I hope that some of my newfound mindset, newfound insight helped you. If you guys want me to do this again, comment down below, let me know, and I'll do it on my Instagram. Again, I'll do another story thing. I hope some of my advice helped. I don't know if it did, but I enjoyed doing this. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one.